Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at GCNlive.com.
This is your call to action. Get prepared, America. Economy, survival, energy, disasters. This is USAPrepares.com. Informative radio, educational radio. Interact now by emailing instructor@USAPrepares.com or text at 434-390-7953. Class, please take your seats. Now, your instructor, Vincent Finelli.
Everyone all set? Cocked? Locked? Here we go. Your dial set correctly to USAPrepares.com. And we're broadcasting from high atop the Ozark Mountains. 2 hours. Monday through Friday. 9 a.m. through 11 a.m. Central Time. John is engineering the broadcast at GCN in Minnesota. Doc Ram is with us. Welcome, Dr. Richard Allen Miller.
No, you can call me Rick, or you can call... Good morning. I got a Paul Simon. I just,
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Rick, I understand that the three amigos are getting together for I got a call.
Picture.
Yeah.
We're going to get hijacked, and I'll bring my sombrero. You can sing. I can't sing with sour owl jowls, but yeah.
I got a call from Matt Stein yesterday, and he said, my favorite cousin Vinny, we're going to the RK Prepper show. Rick's coming, and he understood I was going to be there, so the three of us are going to be speaking at the RK Prepper show this month, and that would be June 25 and 26 in Springfield, Missouri, at the Ozark Empire Fairgrounds.
Well, wait a minute. There's other friends. Ed Marvini called.
Yeah, he's gone.
Of course, I'm hoping that Grace Thorne sells her home and wants to come back to Grants Pass, because we just held a vote, and we are going to hire her, if she comes back, to mow the graveyard here. That'll have special meaning for Grace. I have a special book on ghosts and spirits. Her home, Julie drove her back to Oklahoma to sell her home, and it is literally haunted, and there is something present there. Hasn't bothered Grace, but everybody else is spooked on it. And I have to say, I don't think it's a graveyard, like in the movies, but something has caused an aberration in that part of space-time. And we have things like that around the world. That's what I used to do for the military, is go in and try to vet whether or not something was worth further study. And her home is literal. There's something there. And so anybody that wants an artifact, I don't know what it means. When you see movement and old people walking through walls, what does that mean?
So do other people see this as well?
Anybody that goes to Grace's home will see something happen.
Are you saying that, Rick, are you saying that if we sit in her living room, you and I and several others, and we're all sitting there, we'll all see the same thing simultaneously?
I don't know. That part has not been revealed yet as a study, but what has been revealed is every single person that's there. We didn't do that study. It hasn't been documented like, we all saw the same thing. Yes, there's similar where I saw a woman in old clothing walk through that wall, and other people have seen the same thing, but I have not vetted that it was simultaneous. What I have vetted is that every single person, including my girlfriend, that actually saw shutters moving with no one in the house. Now, that's anomalies, with magnetic fields and, who knows, earth movement and belching gas down below. Have you heard about Yellowstone and how the lava flow now has found tunnels of old military and is running all over, including Ohio?
Tell us about it, Rick.
Well, I'm going to get a link for you. It was on my website a couple of months ago, and I have a friend in Las Vegas that is going to send me that link because I don't quite remember uploading that. I have a couple of other people helping me with my link. Here's the weird part about Facebook that I'm curious about. I had, as a low-end Facebook, 20,000 views a week, and yet I have had every day 50 or more requests to become a friend, and my views are less. I don't believe a word of Facebook and their statistics. I don't believe a word of any multimedia and what's going on. I think everything is orchestrated and manipulated. And I'm guessing the only reason I'm on it is I'm non-controversial, discussing politics. What I do is the areas of my interest and expertise, which is GMOs. Wait till you see what I'm going to post this morning from Joey. That we have some problems with the earth right now, and nobody is discussing it. And if it continues to go the way I see it going, there won't be a seventh epoch. There will be, but it won't be human. And that's what NASA is saying anyway. They said by the year 2050, there will be no more humans on Earth. It will be transhumanism and the Avatar projects. So
Rick,
here we are.
One of the things that you and I were talking about is the sun has been reported to not being firing on all of its surface, and there's about a 10% area that is not firing.
That's creepy. Now, that could be objects that are affecting the sun with gravitational and other kinds of phenomena that we have yet to discover. And with Nibiru and the other things, Stanford has already confirmed there is a second solar system out by the Oort cloud that forms a binary with our sun. And while we have lots of historical evidence on that, I've noted that the media has played that part down to include what Stanford announced publicly was 3 months ago. And I have to say something about that. Imagine billiard balls being thrown on a table with two moving solar systems moving through each other, and what happens next. And that reminds me of Mars, which is most likely Atlantis, is a water planet, and the asteroid belt, which might have been Mu. Who knows? I know that our history isn't being reported correctly. And there was a Clovis culture that crawled out of a cave and had higher technologies than we did, and they crawled out of a cave. So this is something that happens on a regular cyclical basis. And how did Stephen Hawking put it? God doesn't play dice.
Rick, when I was in elementary school, I remember learning about the sun, the solar system, and I thought, man, oh man, this big ball of fire, and it provides heat and light, and it provides for photosynthesis, and we absolutely positively are dependent on it for gravitational effects and so forth, and without it, we're doomed. And of course, my fear turned to, well, when is this thing going to burn out? And I was assured through our science teachers reporting to the class that, this is going to keep going for billions of years. Billions. You don't have to worry about that. And yet right now, 10% of the sun is being reported as not firing. That's
kind of like someone's heart that stops functioning correctly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have 10% of your heart muscle is lost or whatever. That's what I went in for, to check to see if the pain that I'm currently enjoying is heart-related. It's not. I have an enlarged ventricle since birth and an irregular beat, which is predictable. And the two have basically matched each other so that I have certain kinds of abilities others don't, but I'm unusual with my heart and rhythm. And so I'm not concerned about that. Everything's functioning correctly, no leakages or anything. A 10%, what that's going to do to men is literally going to change the bandwidth, and melanoma, you can count on it. If you go out in the sun today, you absolutely need some kind of screen blockers. You absolutely need it, or you can count on skin cancer. Absolutely. And anybody that doesn't believe it, go check it out for yourself and see how your doctor bill changes.
Rick, I am now wearing a face mask respirator when I go out in the fields.
You need to cover your entire body. You can't allow it to.
I wear a long sleeve shirt, light colored long sleeve shirt, undershirt. I'm talking about, it doesn't matter how hot it is, I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt.
You have to armor up, yes.
I wear leather gloves that cover the cuffs of my long sleeve shirt. I have my collar, if it has button down collar, I have the buttons unbuttoned, and I have the collar up to help protect my neck, and I wear a hat, and I'm under a canopy of the tractor.
Now,
that's the kind of stuff I'm doing.
When you're all finished at the end of the day, you have to take all of that off and leave it at the front door as an airlock before you track any of that into your home. That's Fukushima. And I'm telling you, if you don't, you're going to experience abnormalities like we're experiencing in the food that we're eating that is now small-laced with GMOs. Everybody has Roundup in their gene, and the gene expression is sensitive to that and is causing mutations as we speak. That's why you're against GMOs. It's Roundup ready. That means they put Roundup not as an insecticide on the outside. They put it inside the plant itself, so it's part of the food you're eating. That's what's wrong with GMOs.
Rick, I've noticed, me personally, I cannot eat most corn, because I have massive stomach eruptus as a result of eating corn.
Well, that's your body trying to tell you to change your diet. That's how you talk to yourself, is that the body will tell you what's wrong.
Yeah, and it's telling me in very loud and upsetting terms. It really is. So corn is something that I have trouble with now. Didn't used to, before they fixed corn and made it inedible. Rick Miller and I'll be right back. Class, I'm a survivalist, and my plan is to be independent of everything that I can so that supply chain disruptions have a minimum impact on our family. What's the first thing that you do when the power goes out? I've researched the best value solar energy system that I can find, one that's backed by the technical support necessary for the undertaking. The system's installed and is generating electricity right now with equipment purchased from IronEdison.com. You heard Brandon Williams, CEO of IronEdison.com, right here on USA Prepares. Together, we designed our system. In my opinion, our IronEdison.com system has more features, more value, and more potential than any other system I've found. We chose the Snyder Electric system with a hybrid inverter, charge controller, power panel, battery disconnect, and the system control panel. If you want energy independence, as we have, please consider calling the engineering team at IronEdison.com, 720-432-6433, 720-432-6433.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a Select Quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I impartially shopped the highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $26 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 1-800-403-4885. That's 1-800-403-4885. 1-800-403-4885. Or go to SelectQuote.com. We shop, you save. Get full details in the example policy at selectquote.com/commercials. Your price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pileski of the Pileski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit goberkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know. GoBerkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products. Most ready to ship same day. Visit the Berkey guy at goberkey.com and be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com, home of the Berkey guy.
This is an alert. If your business or church is building this year, you're about to pay more than you should. This could mean thousands of dollars more for your office, retail space, church, or warehouse. A General Steel building can save you as much as half the cost and time of similar conventional construction. And we're offering rebates of up to $20,000 to help you build today. Call General Steel for free information that could save you thousands. Call 866-91-STEEL. 866-91-STEEL. 866-91-STEEL.
Rick Miller's with us. Hey, Rick, we've talked about electromagnetic pulses. We've talked about how the entire planet runs on the electron. And I have a little clip I'd like to play that clearly shows what happens when an EMP causes a teleprompter to malfunction. Here we go. It's very short.
Okay. Campaign for Hillary. Listen.
If we turn against each other based on divisions of race or religion, if we fall for, a bunch of okey doke, just because it sounds funny or the tweets are provocative, then we're not going to build on the progress that we've started.
Rick, I've never seen a teleprompter malfunction like that before.
That's neurolinguistics, and I can tell you what's going on inside his mind while he's speaking outside.
What's happening?
It is. Read it and weep.
What's happening? Is he being attacked?
No, we've been hijacked by a bunch of criminals and egomaniacs. The country is doomed. And it's already over. You want to know what's going to happen to the United States? Just watch the news today on what's happening in Venezuela.
Yeah. Absolutely. By the way, that was
we're doomed.
That was a clip that Fox News aired, and it was Barry campaigning for Hillary. He was doing the best he could, and that's what he sounds like. He's an intergalactic disgrace, and that shows what happens when the teleprompter fails, and he has to ad lib for himself.
Wing it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So
he doesn't have the words because they don't exist.
Rick, I was watching for the third time last night Jericho, the TV series. And each time I watch it, I realize how close to a documentary it absolutely is. Have you seen Jericho?
No, I haven't. I'm watching others, though, like that one about the woman that's a soldier in Iraq that is said that she's dead and she's trying to survive. That is, with all the criminals running our planet, it's not only disgraceful, I'm mad as heck, and I'm not taking it anymore. I'm going to start publicly talking about how terrible it is from the local level right up to the national, and the United Nations is now at top of the list with your so-called Illuminati. It's nuts. And it's time
Jericho.
we say something.
Yeah, Jericho was a television series, 2006 to 2008. And a number of our instructors, including Joey, have watched it. And it's about a mushroom cloud that appears on the horizon. And Jericho is a small Kansas town, maybe 5,000 people. And there's unknowns. There's fear. There are people become... they have their own agendas. People are taking the me first attitude. Some are doing a great job rallying the town together. Others are saying, wait a minute, this is mine. I worked for it. This is my farm. You're not going to come take everything on my farm just because other people haven't prepared. And and then there's this conflict with the neighboring town called New Bern. So it's Jericho versus New Bern now. And then the military comes in. And the military does what they always do. You know, they come in with firebombs and they show who's the boss. And then it becomes New Bern versus Jericho versus the military. And then they pick sides, change sides, and the players' alliances keep changing. And it's what it's like with very little information. Who do you trust? Who do you believe? Who are you going to work with? And then individual greed. It brings out the best and the worst. And then it shows the national government, the federal government, and how evil they are. And how you can't believe anything they say as well. And it is a great way of learning about what we are probably going to face, almost assuredly, in my opinion. Jericho, Jericho. You can watch it on Netflix right now. We'll be right back.
There's nothing more enticing and intoxicating than the finest meat cooking on an open flame. Freeze-dried meat from newharvest.com is U.S. grown, 100% all-natural with no extra fillers. Just grass-fed beef and free-range chicken guaranteed to stay fresh and delicious. Add New Harvest freeze-dried meats to your current food storage. You'll buy direct from the factory, not a third party, ensuring the best price and the highest quality. See all our products at newharvestfoods.com. That's newharvestfoods.com.
By now you know that wireless technology like cell phones do in fact pose dangers to the health and privacy of everyone. Block-It Pocket's wide range of products are unmatched in providing the protection you deserve. No scare tactics, just common sense. BlockItPocket.com offers quality American-made options to alleviate and eliminate these invisible dangers. Learn more at BlockItPocket.com or call 888-315-9618. BlockItPocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
Are you worried about your mom or dad living alone in their house? Hi, I'm Joan London. Listen, I know how difficult it is to find senior care for someone you love. That's why I recommend a free service called A Place for Mom. They are the nation's largest senior living referral service. Call A Place for Mom today.
To receive free information on senior living communities in your area, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-704-6182.
A Place for Mom offers free one-on-one advice from local advisors and a personalized list of senior living communities you can visit. If you have questions about senior care for your mom or dad, there's a place for answers, A Place for Mom.
Call A Place for Mom in the next 10 minutes to get your free ebook on financing senior care as well as free information on senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-704-6182. That's 1-800-704-6182.
Hello?
Congratulations.
For what?
For losing all that weight. How'd you do it so fast?
ASAP.
ASAP what? What's that mean?
Are you ready to get as skinny as possible, as soon as possible, as simple as possible, and as sexy as possible?
I'm listening.
Then get with the ASAP program. It's real and it works. No smooth talk, no slick advertising, and no exaggerated claims of success.
I've got to know more.
Welcome to ASAP, as slim as possible. Whether you have 10, 20, or 50 pounds to lose, ASAP is your weight loss answer. ASAP targets the abnormal fat reserves and makes them available to be burned as fuel and contains no caffeine or hormones. Order ASAP at wholesale prices or join the team to share the business with others. Visit GCNteam.com or call 877-878-4203. GCNteam.com or call 877-878-4203. Lose weight and look great with ASAP, as slim as possible.
Is negative content or comments on the web affecting your personal or professional reputation? Unfavorable comments, embarrassing pictures, videos, legal documents, and negative articles can ruin your personal life, your career, or your business. It happens a lot, and it's just not fair. But what can you do? ReputationDefender.com can help protect your good name. Get a free consultation now. Call 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771. Call right now for a free expert reputation analysis. It's easy to squash the unfair attacks with our patented system, and the analysis is absolutely free. Make the best things about you jump out in searches. Protect your personal and professional reputation, your business, and your income. Get your free reputation analysis from ReputationDefender.com right now. Call 800-831-0771. 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771. Or visit ReputationDefender.com today.
If you have sleep apnea and you're tired of dragging around your big, bulky home CPAP device wherever you travel, what I'm about to tell you may sound too good to be true. MiniCPAP.com now offers a portable device that's as small as a soda can and weighs less than a pound. Even better, you can try Transcend absolutely risk-free for a full 10 days. Call us now, 1-800-940-5473. Transcend is the world's first portable mini CPAP device. It gives you the freedom to sleep in total comfort anywhere you are. For even more freedom, you can add a battery that's as tiny as a deck of cards. Transcend is so small and so light you can fit it in your briefcase or purse to use anywhere you go. It's FAA compliant too, so you can even sleep comfortably while flying. It's true. You can enjoy the freedom to sleep comfortably anywhere, anytime you want. Call minicpap.com now for your 10-day in-home trial. 1-800-940-5473. That's 1-800-940-5473.
Rick Miller's with us. Rick, I'm sure you've seen the post about the Cincinnati Zoo, where Harambe, the 17-year-old gorilla, was murdered by employees of the zoo. Are you up to speed on all that?
I glanced at that briefly. I have, when you're finished, something far more. It just came across my desk from a JPL insider friend, and I just posted it on docram.com. Everybody needs to read this immediately.
Well, let's detour.
2016, it's the new FEMA thing that just came out, and they came through here in 2014 talking about, quote, the big one. Well, it's happening right now. The whole coastline from Alaska down all the way to Peru is going to disappear shortly. That's from a JPL insider friend of mine.
Okay, I've got your Facebook
I sent
page
you an email, and I just mentioned
docram.com. Class, if you'd like to go to see it right now, docram.com.
The Cascadia subsection zone. FEMA came through here, I think it was in 2014, talking about the big one, and that's a 8.4 off of Crescent City. Now they're saying it's a 9.0, but it's an 8.4 that's going to drop the entire coastline, and it's shifting right now. And this is all directly resulting from the media, the thing that Vincent was talking about this morning about the sun. And all of that has to do with Nibiru and the second solar system that's coming through our solar system like a bunch of billiard balls. And that's Stanford University.
Rick, 9.0 was absolutely huge. And I remember living in California. We're about, I think about 20 miles off the epicenter, off the San Andreas Fault. And we had a 5.7, and that was terrifying. Buildings shook, concrete walled buildings cracked. I mean, it was and you know, when you have an earthquake like that, you don't know exactly what to do. Of course, the telephone books in the 1980s at that time would say, make sure you shut off your gas, make sure you stay away from the hot water heaters, make sure you go into a corner of a room, that kind of thing. But the thing you don't know, Rick, is you don't know if the ground is going to open up exactly where you are or where you're headed. You know, so if you panic and you run outside and you go, okay, this is a good spot right here. The ground is still shaking, but you don't know if the ground's going to open up right then and there, right under your feet, or where you're better off before you moved. It's kind of a frightening thing. It really is.
They show a graphic on how it's going to play in the movie 2012 when Yellowstone goes off. And I'm going to tell you this. It's going to happen. It's not if, it's when. And so people living on the coast of California doesn't exist. There is a map it's Chet Snow and Future Map of America. The one that the military uses, the one that this depicts with FEMA, is the Chet Snow scenario. And you are probably most likely going to become John Connor and your radio.
So, Rick, your confidence level is what, that this is going to happen?
I'm in the 90% with insiders from JPL, queuing me up.
Mm-hmm. Are you going to move?
Because they're on the immediate. They have access to information I do not have. And all I do is connect dots from the media that I get. And here's the bad news on that. Every single media thing I'm using, from Google, YouTube, on, is now being manipulated. I remember when I could go on and go YouTube and Saturday Night Live and be able to watch without Hulu or other people slipping in. You got to join a membership, and we've been hijacked subtly across the board, and none of us are, including me. Last night, my girlfriend wanted to watch some Saturday Night Live, and I gave up trying to find clips that would last longer than 3 minutes. That's how it's playing, and it's subtle and encroachment. And Facebook is the worst of it, with Amazon and the rest of them running it. Why do you think they call it Amazon? Google, YouTube, it's all happening. Your internet is no longer free. And I mean on a whole bunch of levels. And now, with FEMA coming out and saying this is going to happen, what do you think is going to happen next to your freedom? Venezuela, like I said, the government took over all the farms because they need the food production. It's going to happen. Not if, when. What hit first, I haven't got a clue. I can tell you the sun has already set its warning signs. So there it is. I don't mean to be doom and gloom. It's about a lifestyle change. And actually, I did a radio interview on Nibiru, and I said, and this is the most important thing, that you have a choice, and it's about your attitude. That's what's going to save your life.
Rick, yesterday we reported that an egg, a chicken egg, in Venezuela right now is $12.50. That's if you want one. They get the whole dozen for $150. $150 for a dozen eggs. Waiting lines to buy food, 7 hours. That's what's happening in Venezuela right now.
How about the money part of it, where you can't go to the bank anymore and pull your money out? SWAT did an exercise here in Grants Pass just 2 weeks ago with an NRAP. A little town like Grants Pass has an NRAP, and they practiced on a bank in a lockdown situation next to Walmart here in town. It's happening across the board. The military and the local are arming up. That's why the 1%ers went down underground. Good luck. You know, you can't prepare for certain kinds of things except your attitude. And that's what made us God's favorite, is that you have a choice on how you see all of this happening. Basically, we are at the end of an epoch, and if we don't turn the nuclear power off now, we won't have a seventh one. Won't be human.
Back in the 1990s, Rick, we had a computer manufacturing business, and Mrs. Finelli we'd pay COD for memory and CPUs for these computers because we got a discount if we paid cash versus net 7 terms. So if we paid today rather than 7 days from now, we'd get a 1.12% discount. So we did that. And we never knew exactly what the total bill would be. So the UPS driver would show up, and Mrs. Finelli would say, okay, follow me to the bank and we'll go get some cash. And the reason she went to get the cash was because the bank would charge her, I think, $3.50 for a cashier's check or a bank check. So she said, well, since you don't charge for cash, we'll withdraw cash from the corporate account. The reason I'm telling you this, Rick, is we broke the bank. Our little company broke the bank 3 different times on the weekly delivery of memory and CPUs. So we had a computer manufacturing company in the middle of nowhere. We get a little COD for just 2 components of the entire computer, and we would break the bank on 3 separate occasions. So when you talk about a bank robbery and a drill with a SWAT team and an MRAP, mine-resistant ambush-protected vehicle, $1 million military piece of war gear, when you talk about that, a drill at a bank, it's nonsense. I'm telling you, banks don't have very much money. Just try to get $25,000 in cash, or 20, or 15, or 10, or 5. Just try it. Your bank probably will say, oh, we can't do that today. We need notice. See, it says right here, we need 7 days notice if you want to have that much in cash. So this drill about protecting funds in banks don't have money in them. Very little cash is at a bank. As a matter of fact, if you go to a bank and you say, I'd like to get some pennies, and they say, how many would you like? And you go, well, I don't know, maybe $500 worth? They don't have it. They don't have it. How do I know? Because I went to the bank, and I asked for pennies. And I said, can I get some pennies? And they go, yeah, how many would you like? And I go, well, how many do you have? We got a couple rolls over here. 15 a roll? Okay. I need more than that. What do you need more than that for? Well, I'm building some penny arcade equipment, and I need to do some testing. So I'll need about 50,000 pennies, $500 worth. Oh, wow. And then they wanted to charge me shipping. They wanted to charge me shipping to bring the pennies in, Rick. I said, I'm sorry. I thought this was a bank. This is in Lebanon, Missouri. And they said, well, it is a bank. Okay. So now you're charging for currency? They go, no, but if you want it, we'll have to bring it in on a truck. I said, really? They said, well, I'll tell you what. If you can wait about a week, we can get them for you and we won't charge you. I said, okay. So they brought them in. Rick, they don't have pennies, they don't have nickels, they don't have dimes, they don't have quarters in quantity. And they don't have pieces of paper with dead presidents on them. Soon to be slaves, like Harriet Tubman. They don't have that kind of inventory that you would expect at a bank. So this drill that you're talking about is nonsense. Who's going to rob a bank today? When was the last time you heard of a bank robbery? If you want to get currency, you'd have to rob a mom and pop store that deals in cash. Because banks hardly deal in cash. They just deal in digits. So why would you, you go in with a gun to a bank and say, listen, can you just transfer some digits into my thumb drive, please? How's that work? Yeah, Rick, I'm telling you what happened. Well, it really is not about money. It's not about banking. It's just to show what they can do with their gear. That's what it is. The gear being the MRAPs, the machine guns, and so forth. And we're finding out that the plague is armed with tear gas, grenades, machine guns, riot gear, beanbag, shotgun shells. Pretty dangerous stuff. A beanbag is terrible. Class, I'm a survivalist, and my plan is to be independent of everything that I can so that supply chain disruptions have a minimum impact on our family. What's the first thing that you do when the power goes out? I've researched the best value solar energy system that I can find, one that's backed by the technical support necessary for the undertaking. The system's installed and is generating electricity right now, with equipment purchased from ironedison.com. You heard Brandon Williams, CEO of ironedison.com, right here on USA Prepares. Together, we designed our system. In my opinion, our ironedison.com system has more features, more value, and more potential than any other system I found. We chose the Snyder Electric system with a hybrid inverter, charge controller, power panel, battery disconnect, and the system control panel. If you want energy independence, as we have, please consider calling the engineering team at ironedison.com, 720-432-6433, 720-432-6433.
Are your Google search results killing you? Unflattering content in blogs, news articles, online reviews, social media, or other sources can jeopardize your reputation, your business, and your livelihood. Let Reputation.com help. Our patented technology will make the truth about you more visible while pushing down unwanted negative content. Improve your Google search results. Call Reputation.com at 1-800-831-0771 for a free consultation. That's 800-831-0771.
So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective, multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich, working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare, having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom106.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom, the number 106.com. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom106.com.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
Dangerous blood clot device alert. If you or a loved one had an IVC filter placed to prevent blood clots from traveling to your heart or lungs and suffered an injury, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. The FDA warns that IVC filters may cause serious complications, such as heart or lung damage, internal bleeding, and even death. These dangerous blood clot devices can break, and the metal fragments can travel to your heart or lungs, causing serious injuries. If you or a loved one suffered organ damage or other injuries from an IVC filter, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Act now. Time is limited to file a claim. For a free consultation and free information, call Injury Help Desk at 800-478-1507. 800-478-1507. 800-478-1507. This is an advertisement. Paid non-attorney spokesperson. InjuryHelpDesk.com is responsible for this advertisement. Principal office, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Are you worried about how dangerous the world has become? In these days of terrorist attacks, natural disasters, or even a future collapse, you need to be medically prepared to keep your family safe. I'm Joe Alton, MD of store.doomandbloom.net, where you'll find an entire line of uniquely designed medical kits and supplies for when help is not on the way. For everything from individual first aid kits to the ultimate family medical bag, go to store.doomandbloom.net today. That's store.doomandbloom.net. You'll be glad you did.
Class Rick Miller's with us. And Rick, I just did a little bit of research about Venezuela. And a couple months ago, about 3 months ago, there's this person who bought some food. And here's the shopping list. And I'll tell you how much it cost. A kilo of rice, which is a little over 2 pounds, 2.2 pounds of rice. 2.2 pounds of pasta. 2.2 pounds of rice, 2.2 pounds of pasta, 2.2 pounds of sugar, and a liter of cooking oil. The price 3 months ago, $154 for that. 3 months ago. The price for a watermelon, $40. $40 for a watermelon. And we're talking about Venezuela. And the prices have gone way up since then. So that's what we're talking about coming our way, Rick.
In 2 years. That's my best guess. Yes, this last hour covered a lot of ground.
You know, you were talking about Saturday Night Live. Do you remember? I'm going to post this on the website. Do you remember Father Guido Sarducci?
Absolutely.
His real name is Don.
He was one of, yes, absolutely.
Okay, he's one of my favorites. His real name,
the political commentary.
Mm-hmm. Well, one of his very best presentations. It was Father Guido Sarducci. His real name is Don Novello, and in 1980, he did a piece called Father Guido Sarducci's 5-Minute University. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
and he talks about, you can spend 4 years at the university, but he can give you everything that you're going to remember years after graduating in 5 minutes. So, when you take a foreign language class, you'll remember a couple words, and he's going to teach you the couple words so that you don't have to remember all the rest of it, just those couple words that you would remember years after graduating. And it is absolutely hysterical. Father Guido's 5-Minute University. I'll put that on the link on USA Prepares page 1, during the top of the hour news and commercial announcements. You'll find it absolutely hysterical. It's only 4 minutes long. He's able to do a 5-minute university in 4 minutes.
Yeah, the part I'm enjoying with Saturday Night Live are their political sketches. And you ought to see the ones they're doing with Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. I'm not kidding, man. And actually, Hillary Clinton was on one of those, where she's the bartender serving the comedian playing her. She's a real pistol.
Rick, of all the people I can't stand, she's way high up on my list.
Well, she's a criminal. The last person that did what she has done was executed 10 years ago. Read that and weep. I do not have security clearances. You don't mess around with national security, and she was cavalier about it. Now, that means she's got goods, blackmail, on everybody in Washington. There it is.
Have you seen
How do you like that for a president? Or worse, it'd be Trump and his egomaniac thinking he's better and smarter than someone like me.
Rick, have you looked at some of these other prices in Venezuela just continuing to go up?
I'm telling you, it is how the U.S. is going to play, because we are no longer the country I served in protected. We have been hijacked, And we are now literally past the point of no return. We're doomed. China owns all of our natural resources now.
Rick Miller and I'll be right back after top of the hour news and commercial announcements. Please stay tuned for hour number 2 of USA Prepares. And we're going to be talking about dependency on technology, how it's making us dumber. And we'll talk about cell phones and metallic particles, how we can be programmed. We'll talk about that and more when we come back. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
My dad was 59 when he collapsed from a heart attack late last year. Just this past August was when we spread his ashes on the St. Croix River. I loved my dad, but boy was he stubborn. He hadn't been to the doctor in over 25 years. His excuse? He simply couldn't afford it. He wasn't a rich man by any means. At less than $107 per month, LibertyOnCall.org would have been the perfect alternative for my father. Don't wait. Go to LibertyOnCall.org right now, for not just your sake, but for the sake of your loved ones. Again, that's LibertyOnCall.org.
The best kept secret in the firearms business is CDNNSports.com. CDNN Sports is the largest firearms liquidator in the U.S. We've got optics, accessories, gun parts, magazines, ammunition, and more. Sign up for our email specials today for the best gun deals, period. You will also be entered to win a Winchester 101 field shotgun. Go to Charlie, Delta, Novembersports.com. That's CDNNSports.com.
Everyone all set, cocked, locked? Hour number 2 of USAPrepares.com. Doc Ram's with us, DOCRAM.com. Richard Allen Miller's with us. Rick, I'd like to play a really short piece. It's 4 minutes, 3 seconds. It's Guido Sarducci. Is that okay with you?
Oh, please. I love Saturday Night Live. You know, in the 45 years it's been playing, it is still, the comedians are different, the humor is different, there were stars, you know, that were special, you know, but it still has its punch.
All right. Guido Sarducci, the 5-Minute University.
Green flag pit stop. And here comes the 17.
That's this.
But I never liked school too much, to tell the truth. I find the education, I think it don't matter where you go to school. Italy, America, Brazil, it's all the same. It's all just a memorization. And it don't matter how long you can remember anything, just so you can parrot it back for the tests. And I got this idea for a school I would like to start something called the 5-Minute University. And the idea is that in 5 minutes, you learn what the average college graduate remembers 5 years after he or she's out of school. With the cost of like $20. That might seem like a lot of money, $20 just for 5 minutes. But that's for like a tuition, cap and gown rental, graduation picture, snacks, everything included. You know, like in college, you have to take a foreign language. Well, at the 5-Minute University, you can have your choice. Any language you want, you can take it. Say if you want to take Spanish, what I teach you is, ¿Cómo está usted? That means, how are you? And the answer is, muy bien. Means very well. And believe me, if you took 2 years of college Spanish, 5 years after you're out of school, ¿Cómo está usted? Muy bien. About all you're going to remember. So in my school, that's all you learn. You see, you don't have to waste your time with the conjugations, vocabulary, all that the junk. You just forget it anyway, now what's the difference? Economics, supply and demand. That's it. Business is you buy something and you sell it for more. Theology, I'm going to have a theology department, since I'm a priest, it's only right. And what you have to learn in theology is the answer to the question, where is God? And the answer is, God is everywhere. Why? Because he likes you. That's kind of a combination of the Disney and Roman Catholic philosophies. It's just perfect for the late 70s or early 80s, Just perfect. Well, after the courses are all over, then it's a time for a little Easter vacation. No time to go to Fort Lauderdale. Only lasts like 20 seconds. But what I do for you, I like to turn on a sun lamp. I give you a little glass of orange juice. That's the snack part, orange juice. And then after vacation, after you swallow it real quick, then it's a time for the final exams. I say to you, ¿Cómo está usted? You say, muy bien. Where is God? God is everywhere. Economics is supply and demand. Then I put on your cap and a gown. I get out to my Polaroid camera, make a little snap and flash a picture for you. I give you the picture. You give me $20, I give you a diploma, and you're a college graduate, ready to go. And I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure, right next door to the 5-minute university, I might have opened up a little law school. You got another minute?
That's who it is. I know. You want to do another one that's really enjoyable? Do Saturday Night Live Down by the River.
Okay.
That guy is so over the edge, and it's the real deal. Down by the River. Check it out.
I'll see if I can find it and put a link. But that was
You'll love
Father.
It. You'll love it. It's exactly. The parents discover the children have pot. Did they smoke it? They're not worried about whether they got taken. They want to make sure they didn't smoke it. Yeah. It's a wonderful, wonderful sketch. Saturday Night Live is very, very well written overall. And I used to criticize it, but when going back in retrospect, the political commentary from John Belushi right on up to today is dead on. Mm-hmm. They characterize the real problem with our political structure right now. And I haven't even gotten into the judicial mess that we're currently facing. Has nothing, justice is blind kind of thing. This is nuts. A judge.
Rick, go ahead.
Don't go ahead. I was going to say a judge. Okay, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Rick.
What's that?
Go ahead.
Okay, a judge is supposed to be like Solomon that's trying to determine the real truth. That's no longer what a judge does. And there's something wrong with our judicial system, and it is all self-serving for things like what happened in Burns, Oregon. It is manipulative, and now I'm finding all of our social media is going the same way. Subtle, very small. Yeah, just do Saturday Night Live and see what you can find. You can watch and enjoy without commercials, requirements to subscribe, and or your firstborn child and blood type. It's crazy.
Rick, have you seen House of Cards?
Yes, I have. Yes.
Okay.
That's
there it is.
If K-Pac meets, Obama.
If you watch House of Cards, class, it's vulgar. There's some salacious sex in it. It's perverted in many ways, and if you watch that, and you watch Jericho, and you watch the Civil War, the series that Ken Burns did, I believe, you will see that President Abraham Lincoln lied. He got so many people killed in the war of northern aggression, as the Southerners call it, and the North invaded the South, and the South was fighting for its way of life. It was said that it was over slavery. It didn't start out that way. It ended up being said that that's what it was in order to get some of the blacks to fight against the South. There was a lot of carnage, maiming, wounding. People lost arms, legs. They were shot through the head. I mean, it was absolutely horrible. That's when trench warfare began, as I've learned. It was a horrible, horrible war.
Just like we're experiencing today in everything, including the so-called free state of Jefferson. Hoorah!
And if you watch those three series, House of Cards, Jericho, and Netflix, you will probably come to the conclusion that the lies are absolutely on a fantastic scale. We've been led into wars, and we've beat up countries all over the planet for resources because the corporations are in bed with the government, stealing resources from little countries. The corporations can't do it by themselves, so they get the government backing, and then these wars get started, and there's profiteering going on. It's absolutely disgraceful. And when you learn about what Abraham Lincoln has done, it's criminal. It's absolutely criminal. Honest Abe, that's what I was taught. It's more like dishonest Abe. And, I feel like, why would I want to spend a $5 Federal Reserve note without putting a big X through Abraham Lincoln's portrait? I mean, why would I want to? I mean, I'm not advocating that, but it's a shame, the carnage that he has caused. It's an outrage. And if you look at many of the presidents, so many of them are involved in deception for political gain, for their own gain.
Well, Burns, Oregon was about uranium mining for China. And, and it's a Clinton foundation. There it is. And that man that was shot, killed, they had to do it. And, that's where we're at right now. And with that NRAP project that they did down here with the banks, and with what FEMA is doing with the 9.0, there's all your signs. The sun right now is emitting dangerous radiation for melanoma, cancer. And I don't hear anybody talking about that. Or tracking radioactive debris from Fukushima into your home. These are all going to be new ways of lifestyle in terms of how we have to behave if we're going to survive the new age.
Well, we talk about it here, Rick, and we're doing
our best. Well, that's why you're radio-free, out of the Predator and not Predator, the machine versus man thing. With J2.0 software, they now have software that they are using that will have you profile perfectly, know exactly what Vincent Finelli is going to do at any given moment before Vincent Finelli does. That means they're 28 minutes into the future because of your level of awareness of self. That's why it is important for all of us now to become more informed and in dialogue with ourselves, because that's where the real truth lies, how you feel about something. That is a higher level of information, EQ, than IQ and what's going on in the physical plane. Once you do that, that's what distinguishes this difference between you and a machine. A machine doesn't feel pleasure when it beats you.
When we come back, we've got Lou in Illinois. Lou, you're up next, right after these few short commercial announcements. Dr. Richard Allen Miller's with us. I'm Vincent Finelli. Class, I'm a survivalist, and my plan is to be independent of everything that I can so that supply chain disruptions have a minimum impact on our family. What's the first thing that you do when the power goes out? I've researched the best value solar energy system that I can find, one that's backed by the technical support necessary for the undertaking. The system's installed and is generating electricity right now, with equipment purchased from ironedison.com. You heard Brandon Williams, CEO of ironedison.com, right here on USA Prepares. Together, we designed our system. In my opinion, our ironedison.com system has more features, more value, and more potential than any other system I found. We chose the Snyder Electric system with a hybrid inverter, charge controller, power panel, battery disconnect, and the system control panel. If you want energy independence, as we have, please consider calling the engineering team at ironedison.com, 720-432-6433, 720-432-6433.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a Select Quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I impartially shopped the highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $26 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 1-800-403-4885. That's 1-800-403-4885. 1-800-403-4885. Or go to SelectQuote.com. We shop, you save. Get full details in the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
Here's Dr. Paul Meyer, Christian psychiatrist, author of 85 books, and founder of the national chain Meyer Clinics, to tell you about To Your Health liquid vitamins.
I've been taking these every day for over a decade now, and I try to encourage every one of my clients to take them every day. And there's a number of reasons. First of all, it's the best vitamins you can get. It's got dozens of vitamins, antioxidants, and nutrients in it. And then the most important reason why I do it as a psychiatrist and recommend it to my patients is because it's got brain food in it. It's got the essential amino acids. It's got tryptophan, phenylalanine, tyrosine, choline, vitamin B6, and these chemicals that are all natural from food turn into the brain chemicals that make you happy.
To Your Health is delicious. Find out more today. Call us 800-801-3459 or visit online at mytoyourhealth.com. Use the coupon code RADIO15 for a 15% discount on your order. That's mytoyourhealth.com.
We call it the crapper, water closet, outhouse, or bathroom. But where do you go when there's nowhere to go? The answer is the Biffy Bag. The Biffy Bag is a pocket-sized disposable toilet that fits in your glove box, tackle box, toolbox, backpack, or purse. The Biffy Bag has everything you need for a sanitary and comfortable relief experience. It's ready to use in just seconds, and just toss it in the trash when you're done. It's your Biffy in a jiffy. BiffyBag.com. BiffyBag.com.
Class, I just did a quick update to the website. Gold medal flour, gold medal Wondura flour, Signature Kitchens flour recalled due to possible E. coli contamination. And it says that General Mills flour products in the flour manufacturing facility out toward Kansas City might be the source of it. So consumers are reminded to not consume raw products made with flour. And the post is on the website, usaprepares.com, page number 1. Lou in Illinois, welcome.
Vinny, Rick, morning, guys.
Yeah, hi.
Good morning.
Hey, you guys were talking about Saturday Night Live. Father Sarducci, you remember when he did the Popes in the Pizza contest?
Yes, I
do. That was great. Hey, well, speaking along the Saturday Night Live theme, why don't we do like John Belushi did in the Blues Brothers when he got out of jail and get the band back together, and all of the prepper all of the expo people that come to your expos, why don't we go and crash the RK Expo in June 25th? We'll all go down there and have dinner and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, Lou Cassidy.
What I'm going to do is make an entrance where I do some backflips coming down with a message from God.
Well, Lou, that is a great idea. I love it. I was thinking about it this morning in the shower. That and I used those exact words in my mind. We're putting the band back together, so that's the plan. At the RK Prepper Show, that's this month, the 25th and the 26th in Springfield, Missouri, and I'll have a post on the website usaprepares.com. So, Lou Cassidy, we look forward to seeing you, and Rick Miller's going to be there.
Sam will come down.
Great. And let's see. Ed in North Carolina will be there. He's Rick's webmaster, and he's done a lot of work on our website, as well as Joey will be there. Joey from Michigan.
Christian Vickers is my primary webmaster, and Ed comes in when Christian doesn't know about the security part. Ed's background is deeper than my current webmaster, and only for emergencies when we have a serious invasion. And I'm telling you, it's happening every day here at me. We had an aberrant phone call. They're hijacking my phones. Literally.
By the way, class, another piece of information is if you see on your caller ID customer service, that's the new name for bill collector, customer service. Think about that. Customer service. They don't call you, except when they want money. So keep that in mind. The new name for bill collecting is customer service. Lou, I look forward to seeing you in Springfield, Missouri, June 25 and 26 at the Ozark Empire Fairgrounds. And class, we're looking forward to having a dinner together, Dutch treat, with some of the instructors at USA Prepares.
That'd be great, Vinny. Looking forward to it, and just talk it up on the show and try to get as many people as you can. Come on down.
Well, that's how I get invited, is that people come to the show wanting to meet and see me or Matt Stein. And so that's how Randy Curley plays that role, is that when we're in demand, we get to go.
That's right.
And I can use the incomes. I sell books there. That's what I do.
Yeah. And Matt Stein will be there as well. I missed what you said, Lou.
Okay, I said it'd be great seeing Rick there again, too.
Yeah.
Rick and Matt.
The never endings.
I hope so. Okay, guys.
Hope is the last evil in Pandora's box. The way you do it is you demand to have those people there. Actually, one of the people I enjoy that comes every year is Stormin' Norman, the real Dalton from Roadhouse. And he's a sweet, he went, after he was killed and died and came back to life, he had a religious experience and became a gentle man. He really is a sweet, gentle man, but does he know his shit? I'll tell you. He knows how to do it. He'll show you how to do it. I like him. He's cool.
Rick, put $1 in the jar.
Lou, thanks so much.
Okay, thanks, Vinny. Bye.
Bye. Rick, let's talk about modern technology, and what I'm talking about is dependency that we have developed on global positioning satellites, electronic reminders. Our phone tells us what to do. Electronic calendars, spell checking, calculators, word processing that checks our sentence structure. Measuring devices that don't use tape measures, electronic levels. We now depend on the computers telling us what to do. Have we lost some of our abilities that we used to have?
Skill sets, yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about that when we come back.
So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective, multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today. Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Sling bow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of sling bow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Imagine your life 5 years from now. Are you on the path you want to be on? It's time to take control of your future by getting a world-class education from one of the nation's top universities. Arizona State University is now offering over 100 top-tier degree programs 100% online. It's the exact same degree our on-campus students receive, but you can learn from anywhere in the country on your own schedule. For information, call 1-800-939-9634. Learn from ASU's world-renowned faculty and use ASU's global recognition to improve your visibility, professional network, and gain real-world experience you can start using today. The Wall Street Journal ranked ASU 5th in the nation for producing the best qualified graduates. Now discover how ASU Online can stand out on your resume and help separate you from the competition. We're ready to help you learn to thrive in your life, in your career, and beyond. To learn more about ASU online degrees, call 1-800-939-9634. That's 1-800-939-9634.
This is a healthcare alert from the Pain Relief Hotline. If you, a family member, or a loved one suffers from knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain and have Medicare as your primary insurance, we've got great news. You don't have to suffer any longer. You can immediately qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you by calling our 24/7 Pain Relief Hotline at 866-389-0620. Delivery is free and all paperwork is handled for you. If you are on Medicare and have knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain, don't wait. You can qualify to immediately receive a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost by calling our 24/7 Pain Hotline now at 866-389-0620. Our representatives are standing by 24/7 to take your call and rush you your pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you. Shipping is free and all paperwork is handled for you. Just call 866-389-0620. That's 866-389-0620. Again, 866-389-0620.
Dangerous blood clot device alert. If you or a loved one had an IVC filter placed to prevent blood clots from traveling to your heart or lungs and suffered an injury, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. The FDA warns that IVC filters may cause serious complications, such as heart or lung damage, internal bleeding, and even death. These dangerous blood clot devices can break, and the metal fragments can travel to your heart or lungs, causing serious injuries. If you or a loved one suffered organ damage or other injuries from an IVC filter, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Act now. Time is limited to file a claim. For a free consultation and free information, call Injury Help Desk at 800-478-1507. 800-478-1507. 800-478-1507. This is an advertisement. Paid non-attorney spokesperson. InjuryHelpDesk.com is responsible for this advertisement. Principal office, Las Vegas, Nevada.
My name is Don Wiskin, and at 42 years old, I suffered a massive heart attack and was told I'd be on disability for the rest of my life. What did I do? I created Extendivite, a garlic and cayenne mix of 7 herbs which rebuilt my heart and gave me back my life. For over 17 years now, I have made this formula available to you so you don't have to suffer the same thing I did. Clean your blocked arteries and strengthen your heart and boost your natural immune system. I'm 60 years old now and I still work every day. To get your Extendivite, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com. Extendivite is only $69.95 for a 2-month supply of either capsules or liquid.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Class Dr. Richard Allen Miller is with us. Rick, I was thinking early this morning about the dependency we have on technology, and of course I've dumped my cell phone. So if I want to get from point A to point B, I use a map. If I want to remember something, I might write it down. And you know, we've used calculators and back in the 1970s and maybe in the very early in the late 60s. where they, were expensive, but you could get a handheld calculator. And I was thinking about the digital dial calipers. If I want to measure something less than maybe 6 inches long, I will use a dial caliper, which has a scale that you read in tenths of an inch, and a dial that reads in hundredths of an inch. And by using that, I have I use my sense of estimation. I just turn that dial a little bit more, and I read on a scale. It doesn't tell me digitally. Have we lost some of our skills?
I remember when I had to use a slide rule, and it was accurate to 3 places. And now people don't even know how to do multiplication or square root by hand.
So what does that do to us in the long term? I think about those people who, like the husband will go to the store and he'll say, oh, I better figure out, I don't know what I'm supposed to get here. So he'll call his wife and say, honey, why am I here? I forget. And then aisle by aisle, the husband goes, okay, I got the soup. What's next? And so he'll stay on the phone with her or her with him while they're shopping, because neither one of them can do it alone. And they can't write it down. And they can't remember.
Have the valley of the shadow of death with the impulse buying and the way they've laid that out with tabloids and gum.
Well, Rick, do you think that we have lost some of our skills? I mean, literally, I'm not exaggerating. I'm being very serious.
Oh, yeah. The Common Core has literally screwed up anybody being able to do mathematics anymore. They went back to Egyptian systems.
I remember in the 90s when I was consulting school systems, they said, typing is really important. So we type everything. Okay. Now we don't know how to write.
Yeah. Yeah. Before computers, a lot of my manuscripts that, like the encyclopedia, was before a computer, which means I didn't have PageMaker, I didn't have Gem. I remember those guys, and layout. It's all new, just like publishing is. There were lots of publishers. Now there's one giant lightning source. It's crazy. And Amazon is a crook. I actually bought a book from Amazon, one of my titles, and it didn't come from me. How's that work? I found out later it had come from me a year earlier, and they had bought it used and sold it as new. There it is with Amazon. You can't trust any of it anymore.
Rick, they bought your books used and sold it as a new book?
Yes, sir. I proved that. They got damage control on me quick as a light, because I couldn't figure out why I wasn't getting orders. And there it was, Amazon selling my books new, when they take them in as used. It's a fact. That's just what they did to me. Imagine what they're doing to you. And small publishers trying to eke and be a starving artist, making things work. And you can't sell without them, because people are stupid enough, they don't go to your site, they go to Amazon right out of the gate. Like, I would say that 50% of my book sales come from Amazon.
Kyle in Montana, welcome.
Good morning, Vince. I was thinking about the Saturday Night Live skit and different things like that, where he says, that you're just up there you just trying to memorize these things to quote them back to a teacher and different things. And I think the thing that people miss is that exercise to be able to remember something and know it for a test is good for your mind.
It is. Short and long-term memory, correct.
Yeah, I think, when we demean things like that, we're changing society is what we're doing.
We're changing the way we use our brain is what we're doing. They're training us to become clones.
Yeah. I don't think I don't think people can remember their bank account number, but I make myself do those kind of things. I've memorized my son's bank account number, my wife's social security number, my social security number, all of those things. And when it comes to that helps you, I think, in the idea of planning. Like my neighbor came over here the other day, and I was just discussing some of these plans with him, and he said to me, "Do you have all of this in your head, or have you written all this down?" And I said, "No, it's just all in my head." But it's just a matter of, I think we're losing the ability with the technology because
it's called empowerment, and the way you look at yourself and how you feel about yourself.
Yeah,
and that's another element that has not been discussed. That is the bottom line.
Sure,
empowerment.
But I think if we can get a whole society to laugh at memorization and laugh at having to use their brain when we've got all of this computerized everything, then what we're doing is we're really literally dumbing them down. And I think that, people don't know how to plan anymore. The old saying that if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And it's just a matter of, like you said, Rick, I really took that to heart a long time ago when you said it the first time, survival is more about attitude than aptitude, because the attitude will give you the aptitude if you just have the determination.
Well, and it's the choice part where you can say in my second workbook that's now out, it starts out by saying everything works out in the end. If things are not working out, it's not yet the end. That's your attitude.
Yep. Anyway,
Kyle, you used the word determination, and I wrote that down after you said it. And that word is very, very important. When I was in elementary school, there were several words that were used to describe determination, and they were put together, and it was called stick-to-itiveness. Stick-to-itiveness. Have you heard that term?
Persistence over unrewarded genius.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I totally agree.
And if Edison didn't have it, we wouldn't have a light bulb, because he knows a lot of things he tried that didn't work, but he kept trying and trying and trying and trying, and ultimately he got it. And I think that's what separates USA Prepares from most other people: the stick-to-itiveness, the determination, the ability to estimate. And Kyle, I know for certain, you and I have never met in person, but we've talked on the phone and on the air, and you're an instructor here. And I know for certain that if you could not estimate, you couldn't get through the day.
Oh, good grief. Yeah. I mean, I'm doing it as even this morning while your program's going on, I'm estimating, I'm building shelves. And so in my head, I figured out that, it's going to take 62 2x4s to do the shelves that I need, and 12 sheets of plywood and 24 6-inch blocks to put the blocking for the insulation. And, just all of these things just goes through your head. And I make, rather than trying to write this stuff down, I really do try to make my mind figure it out. And if we don't do that on a consistent basis, I think that takes away from our ability to be determinate in what
Well, here's the bottom line on that. Your visualization is what makes it happen. That's how psyche is brought into matter, and that's part of a chapter I just wrote on the structure of water and memory. And I have to tell you that it isn't about your planning, it's your mind's eye. That's where the shelves happen.
Let me tell you a very quick story, gentlemen. I was listening to radio on a small station, a 1,000-watt station in rural Virginia back in the 90s. And they had a program called they called it Tradio. And people would call in and they would sell things on the radio. They say, here's what I've got, here's what I want for it, here's my phone number. And then they'd take the next call. And they did that for about an hour, Monday through Friday. This guy called up and he said, I went to Radio Shack, I've got some phone wire, and I bought this spool of wire. It says it's 100 feet. And I cut off 6 feet. And the remaining amount is for sale. Now, I don't know how much I have, but I cut off 6 feet, and I'll have to measure it to tell you how much I have. Yeah. That is pitiful. And that stuck in my mind because not only can't that guy, he just can't estimate. He can't say, well, and he can't do a simple mathematic problem. And I know why. Because back in the 60s, in a little hamlet called Farmville, Virginia, there was a civil rights dispute. The federal government said, you will integrate your school system. And the county said, oh, no, we won't. It was Prince Edward County, Virginia. And they said, no, we're not going to do it. So for a whole decade, there was no public school. No public school for anybody in Prince Edward County, Virginia. And this guy can't figure out how many feet are left on a 100-foot roll if he cuts off 6 feet of it. True story.
Wow.
Kyle, thanks so much. Is there anything else you wanted to say?
No, that's good, Vince. Thanks.
Okay, thanks very much. All right, we'll be back. Class, I'm a survivalist, and my plan is to be independent of everything that I can so that supply chain disruptions have a minimum impact on our family. What's the first thing that you do when the power goes out? I've researched the best value solar energy system that I can find, one that's backed by the technical support necessary for the undertaking. The system's installed and is generating electricity right now with equipment purchased from ironedison.com. You heard Brandon Williams, CEO of ironedison.com, right here on USA Prepares. Together, we designed our system. In my opinion, our ironedison.com system has more features, more value, and more potential than any other system I've found. We chose the Snyder Electric system with a hybrid inverter, charge controller, power panel, battery disconnect, and the system control panel. If you want energy independence, as we have, please consider calling the engineering team at ironedison.com, 720-432-6433, 720-432-6433.
Looking for that edge during those intimate moments? We see many ads for enhancement, but the side effects include death. At GCN Team, we should change the Healthy Body, Brain, and Heart Pack to the Healthy Libido Pack. The brain and heart are not the only organs that require a healthy vascular system. For proper blood flow at the right moment, go to GCNteam.com or call 877-878-4203. That's 877-878-4203. That's 877-878-4203.
Worried about lead, fluoride, and other contaminants in your drinking water? Get a ProPure with the Pro 1G 2.0 cleanable reusable filter and remove up to 200 contaminants. Drink water the way nature meant it to be. Clean, crisp, and refreshing. See the complete line of ProPure products, including the new ProMax shower filter. There's a ProPure for you. Visit your authorized ProPure dealer for details or ProPureUSA.com. That's ProPureUSA.com.
Are you sneezing, coughing, and aching? Do you have a sore throat, a fever, or the sniffles? There's no reason to be sick this cold and flu season with immune system support from Supernatural Silver. Supernatural Silver can give your body the help it needs to fight off harmful pathogens without hurting beneficial gut flora and without leaving behind resistant bacteria. Antibiotics can damage good microflora and often leave behind bacteria which can cause problems later on. If you're sick of being sick, try Supernatural Silver. Supernatural Silver, the #1 choice of thousands for a safe and effective way to protect against the many diseases and illnesses that we are facing today. Go to supernaturalsilver.com, read our customer reviews, and see the life-changing results that people are having. That's supernaturalsilver.com. Supernaturalsilver.com. Use the promo code PROTECTED for 20% off your entire order. And like us on Facebook. Supernatural Silver.
We call it the crapper, water closet, outhouse, or bathroom. But where do you go when there's nowhere to go? The answer is the Biffy Bag. The Biffy Bag is a pocket-sized disposable toilet that fits in your glove box, tackle box, toolbox, backpack, or purse. The Biffy Bag has everything you need for a sanitary and comfortable relief experience. It's ready to use in just seconds, and just toss it in the trash when you're done. It's your Biffy in a jiffy. BiffyBag.com. BiffyBag.com.
Are you worried about your mom or dad living alone in their house? Hi, I'm Joan London. Listen, I know how difficult it is to find senior care for someone you love. That's why I recommend a free service called A Place for Mom. They are the nation's largest senior living referral service. Call A Place for Mom today.
To receive free information on senior living communities in your area, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-704-6182.
A Place for Mom offers free one-on-one advice from local advisors and a personalized list of senior living communities you can visit. If you have questions about senior care for your mom or dad, there's a place for answers, A Place for Mom.
Call A Place for Mom in the next 10 minutes to get your free ebook on financing senior care as well as free information on senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-704-6182. That's 1-800-704-6182.
Would you like to receive $250 to $1,000 cash per day? Go to richmoneyrich.com. No website, no selling, no explaining. Just take these simple 2 steps and go to richmoneyrich.com. You can be generating cash in the next 24 hours simply using this system. Good news is, it runs on 100% autopilot, and you don't need any experience to get started. It's easy. Get your share of easy riches and go to richmoneyrich.com. That's richmoneyrich.com. Go now. Brought to you by the Conservative Investor. Current returns not indicative of future results.
Class, I'm going to tell you about a website that I'll post a link to on page 1 of USA Prepares. It's called wirelessadvisor.com. And if you go to that site and you type in your zip code, it will tell you the cell phone services by frequency and provider for your area. So I typed in ours, and Verizon and AT&T are here, and Sprint, and it says that the system uses 850 megahertz, 1,900 megahertz, which is 1.9 gigahertz. It also says that we're using the 1.7 to 2.1 gigahertz band. And here's my question for Rick. So, Rick, we have these carrier frequencies that cell phones are using in the 1.7 to 2.1 gigahertz and 850 megahertz band. And do you think that added to that carrier frequency can be placed digital frequencies that can target or reach people who have been inhaling chemicals, metallic particles from the sky that can make them do some really unusual things? Like, we're finding people who are stabbing each other. We're finding people who are shooting each other. We're finding out-of-control violence and anger against almost everything around us. Do you think that's possible?
So those bandwidths were purposefully chosen for that very access or door. The guy that invented the original Motorola chip was on 60 Minutes 6 times before he finally died of a brain tumor. And they had options on their upload linking on bandwidth, and they specifically chose those bandwidths because of the research I and others did on synthetic telepathy. They even tried to use HARP. Listen, this is all with intent. Cell phones are toxic, like cigarettes, worse. And now, count the amount of cell towers that are in your home and neighborhood today compared to last year and 10 years ago, and see what you think is happening now in radiation dosimetry and lethal dose 50 ratio exposure rates. There it is. And I'm here to tell you that I don't use a cell phone, that I'm currently talking on a phone that I hold away from my face on speakerphone because I won't have anything on my head in first zone. And that's it. Now, you can do what you want, and get caught up with your multitasking. I don't have time. But then that's how that works. If you don't get a grip and stop this nonsense, we are big. Right now, I think it was Samsung wants to do where they charge your phone instead of you having to plug it into a wall. You can do it in 5 minutes using a radiation tower. How's that going to do for your liver?
Yeah, there's a company called Watt Up, or the product is called Watt Up.
That banned, and they don't give a damn about you. What they're interested in is money. And don't worry, because like Dorito corn chips, we'll make more.
Rick, they're talking about. Okay,
like
they're talking.
We were talking earlier. They don't have the cash on hand. That's not what a bank does.
They're talking about deploying this kind of technology in schools. So if students have these computer watches and they need to be charged, no problem. Just go into any part of the school and there's a wireless charger in that very area where you are, whether it be the gymnasium or the classroom or the computer or science lab. Doesn't matter where you are, you'll be able to charge your phone. This is the technology that they're trying to deploy right now and letting us think this is so convenient. You don't even have to have a little cord to charge your phone or your watch or any of these bracelets that are monitoring and sending information about you into the cloud. This is crazy. Yes. I don't want to be in. I don't want any part of it. Hey, Rick, I'm looking forward to being on the air with you next Thursday, as well as seeing you here at the farm and at the RK show, which is the 26th and 25th of this month in Springfield, Missouri. I'll post a link on the website. Rick, thanks so much for being with us. Class, above all, honesty and integrity. What happens next is up to you. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
The best kept secret in the firearms business is CDNNsports.com. CDNN Sports is the largest firearms liquidator in the U.S. We've got optics, accessories, gun parts, magazines, ammunition, and more. Sign up for our email specials today for the best gun deals, period. You will also be entered to win a Winchester 101 field shotgun. Go to Charlie, Delta, Novembersports.com. That's CDNNsports.com.
Are you worried about how dangerous the world has become? In these days of terrorist attacks, natural disasters, or even a future collapse, you need to be medically prepared to keep your family safe. I'm Joe Alton, MD of store.doomandbloom.net, where you'll find an entire line of uniquely designed medical kits and supplies for when help is not on the way. For everything from individual first aid kits to the ultimate family medical bag, go to store.doomandbloom.net today. That's store.doomandbloom.net. You'll be glad you...